All right, guys, this is the review for the quiz in Module 2, Quiz 4. The first thing I want to review with you is converting from one metric unit to another. So here's our metric. Kilometers, I'm going to put meter behind all of these. Kilometers, hectometer, decameter. This would be meter. This is the base in the middle. Then decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. So you could have meters here, and then these would all be followed by meters. Meters measures length. Liters could be here, which is volume, like gallons, and this would be kiloliter, blah, blah, blah. Then you could also have grams. Grams measures weight. So length, volume, weight. Like in the English units, this is feet, this is gallons, and this is pounds. Similar ideas. Now, all you need to do is know this chart because this tells you which way to move your decimal point. So, first thing I want you to do is 1.5 liters, convert that to milliliters. Go. Well, if you have 1.5 liters, liters is here, we are going to go to milliliters. So we would move 1, 2, 3 to the right. So if I move this 1, 2, 3 to the right, it would be 1,500 milliliters. Okay, 25.8 grams equals blank hectograms. Go. Well, again, grams would be right here in the middle. To hectograms, we would move it 1, 2 places to the left. So 1, 2 places to the left. Hectograms would be 0.258 hectograms. Now, you could also put a 0 in front of that if you wanted. Try the last one. 14.2 centimeters to meters. Go. Well, centimeters to meters, I would move 1, 2 to the left. So we're going to move this 1, 2 to the left, 0.142 meters. So you need to know this chart, and then that helps you convert from meters to centimeters and whatnot, because it's a base 10 system. You're either multiplying or dividing by tens, 10, 100,000, etc. All right. Now I want you to do this without a calculator. You definitely need paper and pencil. Divide. Go. Well, when you divide, the first number goes inside the division box, divided by 8/10. Now, first thing you want to do when you are dividing with decimals, if this number out here is a decimal, you change it to a whole number by moving it 1 to the right. Now, let me explain why that works. Another way to write this would be like this. Couldn't I multiply both of these by 10? If I multiply them both by 10, I get 9.92 divided by 8, which is what's going to happen here. We're going to move our decimal point straight up into our answer. So all we're doing is multiplying by a power of 10, but it's easier to divide when this number is a whole number. So now we start dividing. 8 doesn't go into 0, so I don't need to do that. How many times does 8 divide into 9? 1 time, so that goes right above there, and notice I have already moved my decimal place up into my answer. 1 times 8 is 8, and I'm going to line that up right underneath that 9. 9 minus 8 is 1. Now I bring down my next number, which is 9. 8 divides into 19 2 times, and that goes right above that 9. 2 times 8 is 16. I subtract 19 minus 16 is 3. Bring down my 2. 8 divides into 32 4 times. 4 times 8 is 32. Remainder 0. So our answer is 1 2400, and this is what we call a terminating decimal. If you ever get a remainder of 0 and you are done dividing, it's terminating. That means that is the exact answer. Now, there are also repeating decimals where you never get a remainder of 0. You guys also learned about those, and you write that answer with a bar over it. All right, write this in standard form. 1.4 times 10 to the 4th. Go. Well, this is scientific notation. We are multiplying by 10 to the 4th, which is basically 10,000. We are going to move our decimal, because that's going to make this a bigger number when it's positive exponent, 4 places to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be 14 and 3 zeros, so 1,400. Or I'm sorry, I said that wrong, 14,000. Okay, 1.4 times 10 to the 4th. This is the scientific notation. This is the standard form. Okay, 3.4 times 10 to the negative 3rd. Write that in standard form. Go. All right, since this is 10 to the negative 3rd, that means we're dividing by 1,000. We are going to move our decimal. This is going to get smaller, 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. So our answer is going to be 0.0034 because I have to add 2 zeros to move this 3 places to the left. This again is scientific notation, standard form. Try C. Change that to standard form. Go. Well, 6.24 times 10 squared. That's a positive exponent, so this number is going to get bigger. I'm going to move it 2 places to the right. So 624. All right, now we're doing the exact opposite of what we just did. I am going to give you numbers, and I want you to write them in scientific notation. Remember, scientific notation is used to write numbers that are really big or really small in a more simplified version. Okay, here we go. 25 million. Please write that in scientific notation. Go. Well, the first part of scientific notation, you have to move your decimal to a point in the number, so the number will be between 1 and 10. It has to be at least 1, but less than 10. So it has to basically be between 1 and 9.99999. So I would move it right there, 2.5. So that's my first part of scientific notation. Times 10. Now, this is a big number, so we know that our exponent is going to be positive. Our decimal point is right here. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 10 to the 7th. Okay, this is a small number. Write that in scientific notation. Go. All right, again, the first part of our scientific notation needs to be a number between 1 and less than 10. So this will be 3.45. 3.45 times 10 to the, now, this is a very small number, so our exponent is going to be negative. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, to the negative 5th. 3.45 times 10 to the negative 5th. Those are both now in scientific notation. Okay, try C. Write it in scientific notation. Go. All right, again, where would the decimal go? To make this number be between 1 and 10, it would be 4.09. So that is the first part of my scientific notation. Times 10 to the, this is a big number, so our exponent's going to be positive. Let's count how many places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Times 10 to the 5th. All right. Try number 5. Is 9/11ths, which means 9 divided by 11, a terminating or repeating decimal. You should be using paper and pencil. Go. Well, this is 9 divided by 11. And again, the one that is written first or on top goes in the box. 9 divided by 11. That's how you say this. 9 divided by 11, 9 divided by 11, 9 divided by 11. Now, 11 does not divide into 9. Okay, 11 is a whole number, so we don't need to worry about moving that. 9, the decimal point is right there. I'm going to bring that straight up into my answer, and I'm going to add some zeros. So now we start dividing. 11 does not divide into 9, so I don't put anything here, or if I want, I can put a 0. So I look at the next number, 90. How many times does 11 divide into 90? Well, it goes in 8 times. 8 times 11 is 88. I subtract 90 minus 88. Hopefully you know that that is 2, but if you don't, you have to borrow. That becomes an 8. That's a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 8 minus 8 is nothing. Now, bring down another 0. How many times does 11 divide into 20? 1 times. 1 times 11 is 11. And again, 20 minus 11 is 9. But if you don't know that, borrow. 10 minus 1 is 9. 1 minus 1 is nothing. Now, I need to bring down another 0. How many times does 11 go into 90? Well, it goes in 8 times. 8 times 11 is 88. We see what's starting to happen here. 90 minus 88 is 2. Bring down another 0. How many times does 11 divide into 20? 1 time. That's 11. I subtract, I get 9. You can see what's going to happen. We are never going to have a remainder of 0. This is what we call a repeating decimal. It is repeating. And how would I write this? 0.81 with a bar over the 81. Remember, the bar goes over what the pattern is that repeats. Okay. Number 6, how would you write the correct bar notation for a decimal that looks like this? Remember, this dot, dot, dot means it goes on forever and ever. Go. Well, what's repeating here? 1.070707. So the 07 is repeating. So we need to put a notation over the 0 and the 7. Now, I want to take a look at these so you can see what these would look like. Here, the bar is just above the 7. So this decimal would look like that. The 7 would repeat. This one makes no sense because you can't have a bar above something that's in the middle. So this means nothing. This one, the bar is over the 107. So this would be 1.07, 107, 107, 107, continuing on forever and ever. Here, the bar is above the 07, which is what we want. So you should have picked D. All right, guys, please send me an email if you feel like you need any additional help on any of these concepts, and you're ready to take your test if you understand everything.